you probably already heard, but what is Wakanda? Just a small introduction. But if you were here, oh, 14, okay, thank you. So Wakanda is our open source platform for developing business and mobile applications. It consists of two parts: Wakanda Studio, the application that run on Mac and Windows, and that you can use to write your code, design data stores, front ends, graphical interface, etc. And another part, which is Wakanda Server, which run also on Linux, and it is the fast HTTP server with our Wakanda database, object-oriented database engine, no SQL. Now, you probably know what is our Wakanda MySQL model. Wakanda, WAF stays, sorry?
Yeah, if you could just take your lanyard off.
Oh, this one, it's, oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. So, WAF stands for Wakanda Application Framework. So, MySQL module is a part of our framework. It allows you actually to connect Wakanda application to the MySQL to a MySQL server. And as you can see, the minimum version supported of MySQL is 4.1 or higher. So please take that in mind if you want to get support or something. So what can we use this module for? Now, we can access external database for import. That's the small demo that I will show at the end also in maybe more detail that Thibaut and Jürgen already. Did they show that today? I didn't see the end. Again, at the end? The demo, no, only yesterday. Okay, thanks. So you saw that, I will show that later. We can use it to export data directly to MySQL to build synchronization. And we can use, I will concentrate more on this fourth part today to show you how you can you can access external database with a direct binding with the Wakanda graphical objects and data store. So that's what we can use it for. Now, oh, sorry. Before I go to the demos and the rest of things, this is something from documentation, so you can get a general picture of the mappings. As you can see, almost everything is, actually everything is supported, but there are some limitations. As you can see, the last three types from MySQL, there are no equivalents in JavaScript, so we have to return the row string representation. And for the date and new date, as you can see, only year, month, and day fields are relevant. The other fields are, well, this is, oh, it should be, it doesn't see, the other fields are filled with zeros, okay? Oh, that's this one. Oh, this is something we done recently. So just to also for you to see how fast it is. As you can see, PHP is significantly slower, and we are almost as quick as Node.js. Yeah. So that's execution time. Now, how we do use it? How we use this module? First of all, we have to include it. So this is the line that you must use to include the module. Otherwise, it won't work. Now, to connect, there are two forms, two syntaxes of connection. So you use this command, mysql.connect, where MySQL is a how to say, client, MySQL client from object. So you pass the IP address, the username, password, and the default database or schema to use. Or there is another syntax like this, where you pass only JavaScript object as a connection parameters, so it will take the account. That's how we use it. Now, okay, I want to show you the quick way a quick way of displaying data from. Oh, nothing is running. Okay. Okay. First, just to let you know, I think I have already imported. Oh no, I have it ready. Okay, I have same. Okay, no tables. So I'll run just this small script in which we are going to create 3 tables: cities, countries, and third table like many to many. When I import this, well, okay, let's show you first in Wakanda how this looks like. Now it's empty, for example. It asks me to the server. You're aware, you remember that in Wakanda we have solutions, then project within solutions like files. You can have many projects within one solution, only one solution at the moment, but there is a plan to actually we're working on it to let you open many solutions at once. So this is one solution with one project. Now, what I wanted to show you is the model, which is like this. Okay, so it's easier to. This will be our what we want to get from MySQL. Now, for now, I'm going to delete this. Just remember this picture until the end because I want to in that demo that Thibaut and Jürgen didn't repeat. Wakanda will create actual MySQL connector. Using MySQL connector, demo will create the model again, preserving the relation. So I'm going to delete this and show you later. Okay. Okay, so save. Now I have the empty model, okay. Going back to here and just run this. Okay, running. Okay, come on. Okay, done. So back to Wakanda. Close. And open. Oh, no, sorry, I didn't run the demo, sorry. You have to run the demo. I wanted to show you actually the other thing. So you have a structure. You see that we have data here. So when I go here and refresh, okay, and let's say cities, there. So what I wanted to show you is this thing. Now, when I run this, I just run and then explain. Okay, see this now. So this is the code that I used. Remember, require, we have to include the model. There's just connection parameters, localhost, port, username, password, default database. This is whereas connection done, and this is my query. I execute the query, get the result, close the database, and this is the Wakanda way of doing things. Everything you put in the last line will be displayed here. So, for example, if I change this to this method, save, done. Okay, it gets cities. Okay, so all, for example, okay, which keyboard do I, okay. Come on, why it's so slow? Okay, as you can see, it will give it. So, and this code is run on the server, on Wakanda server. That's the important thing. That's what I want you. So it's, for you, very easy to see, like, okay, what's doing and what's not doing. Now, that's the server-side connection. Now, what I wanted to show you is how to, let me just check. Oh, no, I have to go back to the keynote. Okay, we done this. Okay, direct binding. Did you get the picture? Because Wakanda has internal database, we are not going to use it right away. That I will leave that for the end. Okay, so direct binding, I want to have like, well, let me run you what I want to have. Okay, folder, this one. Okay. So I have a simple page in Wakanda. with the data grid. Okay. See, the source is my cities. What is my cities? My cities is an array, which is data source for. So differently from what they showed you in the connecting to Wakanda's data store. Here is array. Array is the source for the data for this grid. As you can see also, well, maybe better to, if you don't see these things, maybe better. How do you bind an array to this data source? Is very easy. I'll just create a new page. I don't see the, okay, new page, for example, desktop, never mind. It can be untitled. Okay, first thing that I will do, I will just create, so I'm choosing the array. I don't know if it's clear from the presentations. Now, the data store class is stored on the server as a data store. The variable, array, and object are local data stores. Okay, so in browser, in JavaScript. So I'm telling Wakanda, please give me one array, and I will make it the data source and says like there were cities. Let's say this is countries. I return back to that example, not to type everything. Now, what I want from, do you see this at the end? This thing here. Okay, I'm going to add an attribute. So the attribute name will be, for example, I know that in countries I have name as a attribute in a table, in MySQL table. Remember here, these are cities. This is countries. Okay. So columns. Here it is. So I can put this. I can put also, for example, add another one. What was there? Like country, continent, for example. Okay. Which is both of them strings, as you can see. Now I have my data source. I want to put the grid on it. Here is my grid, and as here is say, I'll just drag here, this here, and it gives me the default things. Now the important part is here. We have label and the attribute. This attribute here must correspond with the one defined in data source. So Wakanda will give me, when I type this, do you see a small pop-up? Type ahead. So it will offer me only those attributes that I have defined in data source. So this case name, and this label is just label. So you can say here country, for example. Okay, this is how you bind. Now back to our example to show you. Save it. So let me first run this to show you what it does. I'll run the page. Query. Here are my cities, okay. As easy as that. Now, if I go back to Wakanda, show you so I have my data source. Attribute is name. It's my cities. How did I do this? So let us investigate the code. Dear Wakanda, you probably saw this. Wakanda has certain events for certain objects, so we can write code directly in it. Okay, so on click, what do I do? Or actually, what do people who prepared the demo did? I'm going to define parameters, call my method. I will explain this a bit later, and then call the method that will return the array, with which I will populate my cities, my data source actually, and then I have to, because data source and the grid are connected, but sometimes not automatically synchronized, so I have to force synchronization. So actually, this line of code will refresh the list in the grid. So actually, in our case, since the list was empty, it will show the selection we made in. Now, why do I do this kind of feature? This is because I want to run the query and handle connection and query on the server. Okay, so this makes, I will not go into details, but if we define a remote procedure call module that we use, the methods that are put in there will run on the server, okay? Server side, that's important. Otherwise, we will have client connecting and some things that we don't know. This way, it will be faster. So I'll show you this method that I have. So this is my module, RPC handles. So the method is get all cities. It's down here. Okay, here it is. So it gets connection parameters from the calling method. And remember the line, never forget this. I'm connecting, this is my query, just selecting city. Name from the city, execute query, get all rows. This is command from MySQL module, and return the result. Very simple. Okay. Now, I'll use, now get me back to, well, come on. Okay, back to this page. Now I want to add, for example, the ID field, because I want you to show you now how can you update the record in update the MySQL database from here. Okay, so well, it's simple. Just pass the query and execute it, the update command and execute it. But what can I do? First, I will need an ID here, so I have to update. I will sit now. Sorry. I will update the add an attribute and put ID and its number. Oops, not Boolean number. So I can go back here, add column. Let's say what it is, city ID. Okay. Now we have here, we can either put complete grid to be read-only, but in this case, so because I'm building I am implementing the possibility to modify the record, I want this column to be read-only, so that's the way how you do it. Okay, save. This will not work yet because I have to change my query here. So here, ID, and I think that's all what is necessary to get. Okay, refresh. Okay, why is ID empty? Missing something. What have I done wrong? Okay. Do you know maybe why is now? Sorry for this because I don't know what's going on. All cities, sources, everything okay. Maybe I didn't save this or what? Okay, now officially I have a problem. Oh, why? Well, I switched to this because I have a one that it's working here. Sorry, so it's on the Mac side because I don't know what's going on. So this is what I want to achieve here. I have run this page, but this is now in another browser. Okay. And when I query, oh, I have not, okay. I have not started MySQL on this. That's the problem. Okay, sorry for this. Okay, now it's running. Come on, what's now the problem? What's going on? is something going wrong when it's not. Officially, I'm puzzled now. Okay. Well, I'll show you the code, and later I make it work. Sorry for this, because it was working half an hour ago. What's going on? I have the MySQL running. I have it. Oh, it didn't run. Okay, now it's running. Sorry. Okay. Wow. So I have to check with my macOS installation what's going on with this. Okay. Now, we have, this is what I want to develop in front of you, but I couldn't because I have some strange errors. So I will just let you see what I implemented. First, I want to implement this, like to change from this field and update. So it's now, you will notice that as soon as I go out of this field, this is updated, but this is Wakanda magic, so it's Wakanda is updating. Now I will show you why. Only when I press update, I will go to the MySQL server, update it, and then refresh it. Actually, no need to refresh in this case. So the code is like this. This is the part. So let me recreate this like once more. So what I want is to have this kind of widget. So I can use like this. I can put all, for example, and Wakanda offers me to do this. Okay, so I will let this create this. So this is the same thing, as you can see. Now, this attribute here is hidden by onload, as you can see. So I'm not displaying it, but I'm using it to get an ID of the record to update it. So when I click here, Wakanda is filling this automatically because my cities is data source of this grid object. So the update code looks like this. Okay. So I have a local I declare local variables for selected city, selected ID. Now, please ignore this at the moment because this is something that I want to actually write in front of you. So this is already done in a test database. So I have my connection parameters, and I'm getting the value of the city from the input box and from the hidden and ID from the hidden box also. And then I call my update city method where I pass parameters, which city I selected, and the ID. And this is shown here. So, oops, sorry, update city. Oh, don't go there. Update city, it's here. So, as you can see, oh boy. I wanted to close this. Okay. So I am doing actually the same thing all over again, but this is also run on server. So include the module, connect, make a query, execute query, close database, and return just what the MySQL model returns me, if it's error or not executing. I don't care about result in this example, but usually. So it's that easy. This is the method that I will use every time that I want to update, so just look at it and update the city. So I'm setting the name only, where the ID is in city ID. Now, another way of handling this, so this is from these two fields. So as you can see, this is my city var, this is my ID var. So I'm getting the values into variables from this. But now I want to use the different approach. I want to get the those values directly from the data grid. So that can be done in this way. If I comment this and uncomment this, hopefully this code will work again. Okay, before I demo. So this is the sources from Wakanda application framework. This is the methods that you can get the current attributes. So get me sources, my cities, my data source, get me the value of the name attribute. And the other line is get me the value of ID attribute. So simple as that. And then we pass that to this. And so now I'm not using this. Okay, so this is, I can delete, sorry. I can delete. I will leave just button. Okay, so if I run query, and I want to change this, so double click, enter, 1, 2, 3, update. So is it really updated? Let us close the page. Remember, it was hug. Now, oops, sorry. Now run page again and query it, query again. So we are getting the updated value from database, yes? Just to prove that it's not only Wakanda making, because as soon as I enter this, it's within my source. Okay, so already, remember I am getting that value from the source, data source itself, so it's already updated. Wakanda already updated the value from the grid. They are connected, okay? As I said, they are synced. That's that's for updating, I think, if you yeah, that was direct binding. Is there something else? I don't know. No, okay. Now let's go to the demo that Thibaut and Jürgen already showed you a bit. Now remember that for this I can go back to my where. Okay. I'll just run. So remember, we don't have, our model is empty. This is just, whenever Wakanda sees that our model is empty, it provides us or offers us to use the data class. Now we will delete this data class that it's providing. It's trying to provide us. So, and run the demo. Our model is empty, okay? And this demo is actually importing data into Wakanda data store. It's not doing live things, nothing, just importing, and then afterwards we can use the data within Wakanda. So I will run the project, and it is nice interface, differently than mine before. So what was user was root, very clever and very secure, and Wakanda password also very secure. And I will connect. So we have a little like log box to see what are we doing. Now, by clicking to import model, importing city, country language, and if I go back to Wakanda, oops, something changed out of me. Okay, my model changed from outside. So do you want to import it? Or want to say it, reload it? Yes to all. And this is our model. And just to show you that the relation is preserved. Now, this is not the bug in Wakanda, don't worry. You see that there is no relation showing because there is a property where I can, now the time that I clicked on this, it's showing the relation. So maybe move it here so it's, you see, that's why, that's because there is a property that you can tell Wakanda to show all relations and to show just the relation of the clicked class. Okay, so the relation was there. It's not created now. Sorry. So as you can see, our demo and our MySQL, our demo used MySQL module to import structure and recreate the relations. Everything is there. Now only the module, as you can see, there is no, as you can go to data browser. This is built-in feature of Wakanda. So see, no cities, no countries, no country language. Okay, I will close this. Back to main page. Now we will import data. Importing city, importing country, a little. You will see from the code we have really nice objects, classes built in Wakanda. So this is one of them, this is one of them. Okay, so the data browser is here. Oh, we could do it. Actually, we could do it from here also. It's down there. There is bound. Okay. Our cities, countries, language. So I don't know if I'm clear or is it clear for you. So this is now imported into Wakanda. No more. We just import it and forget about MySQL. Now I forgot to ask you which would you prefer in your projects? Which will be your approach? Direct binding or direct binding? Most of you, yeah.
Yeah. When you do import, that's it, right?
Yeah,
it's a one-time thing.
Yeah, it's one-time thing.
Okay, it's not going to keep saving.
Well, you can do import and later do binding, but okay. So like doing the front end to the okay. So I'm glad that I showed that you first time. And sorry only that I couldn't write you the code in front of you just to show you how easy it is actually. I hope you get the right picture. I don't know why it's not working there. I was just preparing so hard and now this. Okay. So let me see. Let me show you what we are actually doing there. We don't need this anymore. Come on. Oh. Okay. I'm running in virtual machines, so maybe it's something. Okay, while this is crashing, I'll go switch back to, it's not crashing. Okay, I will need this method, this one not. So, what demo is doing, a bit more detail than what Tibor and Jürgen tried to ruin my presentation for you this morning, so because they show this. Let me just move this. Okay, so connect button. Well, I have to show that. Oh, I'll click on connect button, and you can see that it is same logic. So events, on click. Oh, I forgot one thing to show you later. How do I modify from the grid? Okay, I forgot to show you the code. Just don't forget. Because you all want direct binding. Okay, so that's the piece I forgot. Sorry, I will show you. Okay, this is well, actually, it's the same what I used. So it defines the parameters from the form. It gets the values, and then tests the connection, and now show the other content. So show animation, show all those nice things that we put in demo. Okay, and that's it. The logger downstairs, and that's it. Put the string in the console, and that's it. Now, I won't go to test connection because we were connecting all the time, so you see only difference. Only difference is interesting. This is more MySQL stuff than Wakanda and connector because you are passing queries, and from the result, you will see now. Okay. So this is our index page. Now go back And for importing model, for example, also on click. And here is the method. I don't, is this big enough? For every, okay. So we are showing the container, the small log window, it's not shown. Again, connection parameters, start listening, we start logging, and we use import model method. Now, in Wakanda, when you are calling server-side scripts, when you append async, it will run asynchronously. Okay, did I say that correctly? So this is, let me show you the method here. Where is it? RPC handle import model. So this is up. You can close this. Import data. No, import module. Okay, it's here. Now we have another module here with all MySQL stuff. So we are importing that method and create a new instance. Open progress indicator is Wakanda object also, so we can use it, the thing that it's showing percentage. We connect and call import model from this module here. So I will show you the code. So we have another module. And now what's doing? Let me find the method. Oh, I should do this. Collapse all. Okay, here it is. Now, just show you the code so you can see. Now, okay, we are getting table names. This is from MySQL module. And looping through it and finding all the stuff, you know, from it, so you can see. And here, get table structure also from the MySQL connector, and we have to create the class with formatted columns and save data store and session, and that's it. So we rather simple. There's few methods also after that handles. This is what we do. This is method from this module, our module. Okay, I don't know. Oh, and drop data store, as you can see, it's deleting actually. You don't have to manually delete as I did, because I just want to show you that when we delete, it will show up again. Okay. Now for this button. Well, this button actually also first drops the model, creates the model, and imports the data. Okay, so it's doing the same thing as okay. So click connection parameters, start listening, import data, same model. So I go directly here. No need to go to RPC handler. So this is the method. I'm not going in details because you will all have this. We will upload it, so we'll have it in. But it's nice demo showing you what can be done, and you can see from this. So again, get tables names, count rows. Now get table structure and rows. So that's MySQL module command. So it gets us back. Append it to the array of tables. Fill class with JSON rows and stuff like that, and set value. Now validate model and data. This is here what it's doing. This Wakanda data structure verifying the integrity, and closed, and that's it. Now, I want to show you this because I'm really thinking that I'm going to forget it. And we have 5 minutes? Am I sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So show you that, and then to the questions, because I think I can anticipate at least one of those, or two. Okay, where is my import var? Now to see, just to show you which event did I use here, because that was something I forgot. Now remember, I was entering here, so changing data in a row. So in grid, we have these events. Do you see this? Okay, so I can detect if it's a click in cell, if it's a click in row, if it's double clicks, if it's right click, is Wakanda drawing the row, is it click on header, but no event for has data changed, you know? We don't know, so what should we do? Code. We just choose Wakanda to be easier, and we now have to, okay, but we are looking at the wrong place, so proper place to look for that is here. Remember, data source is connected to the grid, so we have events here, and we have this element, okay? On current element change, so let's change that. On before current element change is just user was typing something, and we did it, the data store and the grid are not yet synchronized. Okay, so you can act like, I don't know, filter something or whatever from the grid object. Okay, so this is where I have, well, that's here, because this is the point, this is the version of Wakanda that okay, this is one actually working. Okay, so my cities class, events, oh, no, not here. Okay, sorry. Oh, here, sorry, this is the event. That's another, okay, current element change, but I can also, as you can see here, I can also react on events here. Okay, see? So I can add event, and I have event on name change. So I can add events on if any attribute is changed, I can have special events. So Wakanda will generate the event, and this method will be called. So whenever you actually type something and goes out of the Wakanda grid object, this method is run, you see. So I use the same update city method, okay? Get the values, this already I show you in the update. Get the values directly from data source because they are already changed. So, and update the city. Okay, is this clear? So we have event directly to the data source, not to the object on the form. Okay, I think that's it from me. Code Q&A. Shall I ask myself or somebody will? Okay.
How would you, any strategies to handle multi-users editing the same record?
Oh, well, that's the same with any database. So you have front end, the same strategies apply like you do in any other development environment. When you're not tightly connected with the database, as we old 4D programmers are used to, so you have to do it on your own. It's Wakanda is doing that, how they call it, optimistic way or pessimistic way, I think. Oh, okay.
Do you have only MySQL connector?
Yes, at the moment, this is the one that I anticipated. Yes.
Does it support any other databases, Oracle or
We are in development process for others, so there will be connectors for Oracle, might be later, because Oracle's prototype is not open source or open, so it will be. But
are you guys going to work on the generic connector like ODBC or something?
ODBC also maybe later, yes, but for ODBC, let's say first, for direct connectors, we are building, I can say, developing for Sybase, Microsoft SQL, and PostgreSQL, for those three, because their protocols are open, so it can be done easy. And I forgot to mention, this MySQL connector is like 90% JavaScript code, 95%. Yes, JavaScript. So that you saw that I used like that I always connect in each method and always disconnect. So that's because I'm not sure. The model doesn't guarantee us that the connection will remain open. You know what I mean? So even if you are on the same page, there can be some kind of refresh and you lose your connection. So actually, what people from engineering tooling, we are going to, I don't know if they're already doing, they're going to rewrite it completely in C++. That way they will have a possibility to maintain the connection. Now for Oracle part, I answered it, and for ODBC, that's the question that yes, it's in a plan, but I don't know, it's adding another layer. What is the situation that you were connecting to what?
Yeah, I mean,
to any other, meaning okay, we don't deliver Oracle, and you go connect.
We don't use MySQL currently. Right
Okay. Well, it's in the plans, but I think the how do you say, the emphasis is to field first direct connectors, and then if anything, well, you can use our general manager is doing the session right now regarding the connectivity between 4D and Wakanda, and where Wakanda is kind of, I don't know, special 4D client for 4D. So you can do, for example, ODBC connection from 4D and then get the data. So there are several solutions, but yes, because I don't know, we want, all this thing with connectors is, we all came from the relational models, and this is, Wakanda has objects, so it's, that's why I ask, I suppose the people will likely most to bind, direct binding, but, maybe in time we can, assure you that it's better to import and use Wakanda's database than those.
How are you managing connection pool? Basically, is it you're creating connection and closing?
Closing, yes, all the time in this demo.
So, but the thing is, whenever you create a connection, every time it's a network round trip, right?
You sent?
Round trip network.
Yes, but what else can you, yes?
Yeah, probably not in the Wakanda DB, but does the 4D database have the capability of syncing with MySQL?
Not directly, but we don't have direct connector, we use ODBC. What 4D has is, it has something we call SQL pass-through. So you can use, for example, we have 4D language, and we type commands, and then we do type begin SQL, and start typing SQL commands.
It's a pass.
And so it goes. So we have a plugin also for ODBC plugin, which is commercial for more advanced use in ODBC. Any more?
We have seen that through Wakanda we can take numbers and text from the databases.
Yes.
Other databases. What about films? What about records? What
They are
about cameras?
They are blob fields, so you can take that, yeah, as well as except those two fields. Remember that are raw data. They are blob fields, so they are put in objects. Access and anything else. Something.
Where can we get a demo?
This demo, I will see with Erin and where do I put it, because I was working. Sorry?
The source code of the project?
The source code, yeah, everything will be on FTP somewhere.
Yes, probably posted on GitHub where the other
Or
ones are being posted.
wherever. I know. I didn't originally wrote the demo, so I'm just presenting the one. I wrote the part that it wasn't working, so that's my fault. Something else? Okay then. Thank you for coming.